Is it visible?
Yes, sir, is visible.
Okay, thank you. All right. So for any of the organization, servers are must, right? You have to configure the servers. Either it would be a domain controller, or it would be a file server, or it would be a proxy server. So multiple things are there which needs to be configured onto the servers itself. All right. So how companies are working on all these things, how companies are configuring the servers. So based on my experience, so I'm going to help you out that how in real time you are going to face the issue, or how you need to troubleshoot the issue if you are facing with your servers or any roles of the servers. All right. So first of all, certification, MCSA nowadays certification is not available, but there is one more certificate, that is AZ 800. You can go for AZ 800, in which you will be able to get the certification that you have worked on on-prem servers as well as you worked on cloud also, right? So the code is AZ 800. So if you need to get the global certificate, then in that case you can go for AZ 800. Right, you can see administering Windows Server hybrid core. Hybrid is basically you have the knowledge of managing on-prem infrastructure as well as cloud infra, right? So if you need to get the global certificate, then in that case AZ 800 is the good one. You can go for it, where actually again all these things which we are going to cover in this MCSA, everything is mentioned in this course as well. See, so if I'm going to 800, right, over there you will be able to see the um, modules, right? So if you will see deploy and manage identity infrastructure, here you will be able to get Active Directory Domain Services, ADDS. So how to configure a domain controller, how to configure the Active Directory Domain Services, right? How to manage groups, how to manage AD forest and domains, how to manage OUs, how to create the group policies, how to manage FSMO roles. So all these things we'll be covering in our MCSA module, right? And you can precisely say it as if you want, you can do a combo also. You can go with MCSA plus Azure, right? Because see, nowadays cloud is must. Multiple organizations are moving their infra to the cloud. So how to work on cloud, how to um, integrate your on-prem infrastructure to the cloud, or if let's say you have on-prem virtual machines, you want to move it to the cloud, right? So these things are also must nowadays. In companies, there is a project where actually you have to manage the um infrastructure movement from on-prem to cloud. Multiple companies are doing so, right? Let's say, just give me a moment. Let me draw a diagram so that you will be able to understand it better. All right. So for example, this is my on-prem infrastructure. This is on-prem data center, basically, you can say, right? And in this on-prem data center, I'm going to have multiple servers, or you can say multiple racks, right? And on these racks, these servers are mounted. Same way, in one data center, I can have multiple racks. So if I want to move the virtual machines running on these servers to the cloud, that is a big project nowadays in the companies. Even multiple third party companies are also helping you to move your infra from on-prem to cloud. So this is, for example, your cloud, Azure cloud. Now cloud is nothing. Cloud is also a data center, right? Where actually multiple servers are there, where actually multiple racks are there. All right. So it might possible that Microsoft configured this data center in Central India, in US, in Australia, in New Zealand. It depends on Microsoft, right? So in Azure, if I want to move these servers to just a sec. Hmm. So this is cloud infra and this is on-prem infra. Infra basically infrastructure, okay? On-prem. So if I need to move these virtual machines from on-prem to cloud, then in that case, I have to set up the communication first of all. I have to set up the communication of on-prem and Azure cloud. And that communication is called as express routing. If I need to set up the communication, then the method by which you will be able to set up the communication is called as express routing. So once you will be able to establish the communication, then we will be able to shift the on-prem infrastructure to cloud infrastructure, depending upon the location we have.
Sir,
Yes,
hello.
please.
I
Yes.
have a one doubt.
Hmm.
Sir, what is the difference between on-prem Active Directory and Azure Active Directory? Is there any difference?
Yes, there is a difference. So basically, if you're talking about on-prem AD, in that case, you are going to have a domain controller. You are going to have a server where actually you are going to configure the Active Directory domain services. But Azure AD is totally, you can say it is a kind of software as a service from cloud, from Azure, where actually no need to configure the servers. Everything you will be able to get on cloud itself. Let me show you practically. Okay. See, this is my Azure portal. All right. So if I need to manage AD, I don't want to configure the domain controller. See, first of all, it is must. You should have a on-prem domain controller also, because if you are going to provide the laptop to your employees, so how they will be able to authenticate, how they will be able to get the group policies, right? So on-prem AD is must. But nowadays we are having Intunes, Office 365. So to integrate all these things, we will be needing Azure AD. And we can synchronize our on-prem AD to Azure AD also. That is also a topic that is Azure AD synchronization. It comes under Azure only. Okay, so see, in case of Azure, first of all, it is called as Entra ID now. Earlier it was called as Microsoft Azure AD, but now it is called as Microsoft Entra ID, right? So here you are going to have your users and computers. Sorry, users and groups. See, so in this case, no need to configure any domain controller. You just need to take the license, Office 365 license, and then you can create your users as many as you want. For example, see, new user, create new user, that's it. All right. So you can say it as for on-prem AD, we will be needing a server where actually we have to configure the Active Directory domain services. We have to make the domain controller, and then only we will be able to manage our users and computers. But for Azure or for Microsoft Entra ID, no, we need no to configure the server. Directly, we have to just set up we have to set up our Entra ID. We have to add our custom domain, whatever our company's domain name is. So we have to add that custom domain, and then we will be able to add our users, and they will be able to log in once they will get the Office 365 license. So it is called as basically software as a service from Microsoft. Clear? Am I clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So yes, so this is what I was talking about, that nowadays this is a big project for the organization, that you have to move your on-prem infra to cloud, right? So what you can do, along with MCSA, you can go for Azure also. Azure Administrator Codes also. All right. So we are in MCSA, we are going to mainly focus on the on-prem infrastructure. We are going to focus on the servers itself, that how to configure load balancers, how to configure failover cluster, how to configure DHCP, group policies, users, how many types of domain controllers are there. DC is basically primary domain controller, read-only domain controller, additional domain controller, child domain controller, right? Or if let's say if your any domain controller is down, if your primary domain controller is down, there is some issue going on with the primary domain controller. So how to move the roles from primary domain controller to any other server, so that the other server will be able to become as a primary domain controller. So multiple things will be there, which we are going to discuss in the MCSA module. All right. So let me go back to the PPT. So I was just talking about certification, right? So for certification, if you want the specific certification that you have the knowledge of servers and all, in that case, you can go for AG 800. Right, that is a global certification which is going to be provided by the Microsoft, and for Indian students it would be around the cost would be around 4,800 rupees plus GST, which will come across 5,600 rupees. All right, then so earlier
Is this exam
hmm,
fees, sir?
yes, 5,600 rupees for Indian students, and rest others can check as per their country. Okay, because see uh, yeah, so for US it would be 165, right? But if I'm changing it to India, so you can give the exam from your home itself. No need to go to any exam center. See, 4,800 rupees plus GST. So it would cost around 5,600 rupees. All right.
And sir,
Uh,
Yes, please.
Azure
can you please
700.
tell me again?
One by one, please.
What's the cost of Azure 700, sir?
Azure 104 also it is 4,800 plus GST. If you want to
Okay.
go for AG 104, let
Hmm.
me give you the cost of that also. Mm,
Is it necessary to go for MCSC first, then Azure?
exactly. Because MCSA will make your base, right? So once you will be able to understand the concept of servers, obviously in case of cloud also you have to run the virtual machine. So how you will be able to manage the virtual machine if you are not going to have the knowledge of MCSA?
How much time it will take, sir?
MCSA
Minimum.
only?
No, sir, both. MCSC
Both.
plus Azure.
Both will take for 4 months.
4 months, sir.
Yeah. Weekend, if you are going to have classes on weekend, then it will take 4 months at least.
Okay,
All
sir.
right. Yeah.
And what will be the training cost?
That you need to check with the team. They will help you out, right?
Okay, sir.
Even if you are going with the combo, then in that case, you will get some discounts also. All right.
Guys, I
Okay, sir.
shared a WhatsApp number, so you can WhatsApp and you can check the details and the pricing and all about the codes.
Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, I have all access pass and I have completed MCSA. I need to know what was the issues, real-time issues in corporation. What was the in DHCP, DNS? At the end of session, may you tell that, please?
So you already gone through with my MCSA batch, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you face any kind of issue while you're doing
Yes.
the
Yes. Yes.
configuration?
Yes. Yes.
Just give me some example.
Uh, Not issues. I need to know real based scenario what was facing in industry or something.
There could be multiple scenarios, right? So first of all, I need to understand what what kind of issue you are facing. Okay, in real time there could be multiple issue, there could be hardware issue, there could be, okay, let's talk about DHCP only. It might possible that your client machine is not able to not able to communicate with your DHCP server, or it might possible the IP scope you have defined already, the IPs are consumed by other client machines. That is also possible, right? It might possible the network card of you are not in the into the correct network. It might possible your NIC card is not working on the laptop,
Okay,
right?
we have
So
to
there could be
check.
multiple scenarios. So based on the scenario, we have to act accordingly. See, troubleshooting is not like, you can't say we have a document for the troubleshooting. On daily basis, we are going to face a new issue, right? So straight away, I can't tell you that yes, these are the real time and these things we can we will face, right? So it totally depends the issue you are facing, the scenario you do have in your lab, right? So based on that only we can act. So troubleshooting is on daily basis, we are going to get a new issue. There is no a standard SOPs defined that yes, only these issue you can face. You can
Yeah,
face anything, right?
okay, I
Yeah,
got it.
yeah, yeah. All right. So earlier, before 2020, right? So if you need to get the certification of MCSA, right, we have to write 3 exams. That is 740, 741, and 742. So these 3 exams, if you will pass, then only you will be a certified MCSA, right? But now directly you have to just write the AZ800 exam, and once you will be able to like pass it. So I think you need to score 800 marks out of 1000, not 800, 700 marks you need to get out of 1000. So once you will be able to secure 700 marks, then you will be certified AZ800 administrator. All right.
So, sir, so can you please tell me that after the MCSA we have to give this exam or after the Azure?
Obviously, after doing Azure, then only you can go for the exam.
And sir, one thing
Because
more,
with
can you please
with
tell me?
MCSA only you will not be able to crack it,
Yeah,
because it
yeah.
is the combo of both MCSA and Azure. Okay.
Okay, okay. And sir, one thing more, can you please tell me the difference between, for AZ 400 or AZ 800 like that? 100, 400, 800.
See,
Is there any
if you
difference?
want to purely move to cloud, right,
Okay,
then in that case, no
mm,
need to go for 800. Directly do the certification 104. But if you
okay,
want to get on-prem knowledge as well as cloud knowledge, or you want to certified with that knowledge, so in that case, you can go for AZ800.
okay,
Okay, it is not must, I'm not saying that it is must, but if you are already working on on-prem servers, and you are moving and you want to learn Azure, then in that case just go for 800 first of all, so that it will specify that yes, you have the knowledge of on-prem servers also, and then you can move to the 104, and then you can go for the master programs like security AZ500, then
mm,
AZ700 as a network administrator, then you go for AZ203, basically cloud architect, Azure architect. That is the different path, but initially you have to focus
mm,
on on-prem, right? Then you should
okay,
focus on cloud, and then if you need to get the certificate, go for 800, or if you want to purely get the certificate on cloud, then you should go for 104.
okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay, now please let me complete this thing, and then I will have your questions. Okay. Okay, then the topics we are going to cover under MCSA, right? First of all, the major topic for any, like major configuration for any of the organization, that is domain controllers, Active Directory services, right? So how to configure the Active Directory, what and all types of domain controllers are there, in which scenarios we need to configure additional domain controller, or we should configure child domain controller, or we should configure read-only domain controller. This we will talk about practically, that why it is needed, how it is being configured, and how it is being used in real-time organizations. So all these things will be covering under Active Directory domain services, right? Then we are going to cover DNS. Obviously, without DNS, we will not be able to communicate with the domain controller. I will show you practically now. I will give you a small demo, right? So until or unless my virtual machine or my laptops will not be able to communicate with my domain controller, how I will be able to add them into my domain? How they will be able to follow my group policy, right? So in order to add the laptop in your domain controller, in that case, we have to make sure that there would be a communication with your domain. Whatever the domain you have configured, you have to make sure the laptop should be communicate with the domain. You should get the ping response from your domain. So once you will be able to set up the communication, then only the laptop can become the part of your Active Directory, and then only it will be able to follow all the group policies which you are going to configure, right? So how to manage it? So all these things will be covering in the DNS. Okay. Then AD objects, again the major thing. How to manage the AD accounts, user account, how to manage, how to reset their password, how to do the folder redirection, right? How to do the profile synchronization, right? How to create a group policy, right? In multiple organization, might be you have seen that in your laptop, you will not be able to access the pen drive. The pen drive access is blocked in multiple organizations. So how it is getting done? How they are blocking the pen drive access? So all these things can be performed through the group policy. So whatever the laptop you are getting from the company, you will be able to see their wallpaper on the desktop, company's wallpaper on the desktop, right? So all these things can be managed through the group policies, right? So we are going to talk about multiple group policies, where we are going to see that how we can install a software using group policy. Let's say you want to install Chrome onto 10,000 machines, right? So no need to get the laptop of the user in front of you. You can directly deploy it through the group policy. Same way, you want to install printer onto your laptops, right? So as soon as the laptop will become the part of your domain, automatically the printer will be installed onto your laptops, and the users will be able to take the printouts, right? So all these are the part of your uh, group policies, right? So we have multiple group policy, like security password group policy. Might be, see, in your internet banking, right? You are not able to use your previous passwords. If one password you have already used, right? So that the same password you cannot reset. You have to always give the unique password. So how it is getting done? So same way we can do this thing in our Azure account, for our Azure accounts also, that they will not be able to use their previous password. Always they have to give the unique passwords. So this is just some examples, few examples. But once we are going to configure the group policies and all, over there, we are going to configure multiple types of group policies, right? How to map a network drive. Might be you are having a shared drive, right? And you have to make sure that shared drive should be accessible onto each and every user on their laptops. So no need to do any manual task. We can just create a group policy, and we can allow all the users to access the shared drive, and automatically the drive would be mapped to their laptops with the help of group policy, right? So these are just some examples. All right. Then how to configure the backup? Basically, you can say disaster recovery, DR. If let's say my primary domain controller is down, so using recovery, using backup, how I can recover it? Okay, so we will see practically. Then we have certificate topic, right? So whatever the websites you are accessing on your laptop, right? So there are two protocols. Okay, how we can access the website? Which protocol works in order to access the websites? Questions for you. Question for you.
HTTP and HTTPS.
Exactly. So HTTPS is making sure that the traffic should be encrypted. From your network to that website, the traffic should be encrypted. Means whatever the activity you are performing, it should be encrypted. So in order to make that encryption, the certificate works actually, right? So if I'm going to this one, you can see the connection is secure. But why the connection is secure? This is all because the certificate is valid. A certificate is allowed for this website, which is making the encryption and which is using SHA-256 algorithm to make the communication secured. So how to generate the certificates? How to manage the certificates? These all things we are going to see in certificate topic. This is just for browser, right? So we can create certificates for multiple things. For VPN you can do, right? For RDP you can create the certificate, because see, if you need to take the any system on remote, for example, I need to RDP to any server. For example, I want to access this one, right? So if I'll try to connect it, so this also I should make sure the connection should be secured. So here also you can see a certificate. A certificate is allowed, a certificate is binded to this connection. That is why it is going to make your it is going to make your connection secured. All right. And then only you will be able to connect the server. All right. Then networking again, DNS, domain naming servers. So DNS is basically going to help to resolve your query from name to IP. So whatever the URLs you are typing, for example, you want to access facebook.com, microsoft.com. So at the backend, your DNS server is resolving the query from name to IP. That is why you are able to open microsoft.com, because it is not easy for us to remember the IPs. We can remember names, but how those names are getting resolved, that is all because of DNS server, right? So what are DNS zones? What are DNS basically records? A record, quad A record, CNAME, mail exchange, right? So all these things we'll be covering in the DNS topic. All right. Then IP address services like DHCP server. If you need to distribute IPs to your clients automatically, you don't want to assign the static IP to your laptops. Obviously, it is not easy job, right? If you have 10 or 15 laptops, then in that case, you can assign IPs static, right? But if you have 10,000 laptops, you will not be able to assign the IPs to those machines as a static, right? So we have to make sure those laptops should get the IP from your DHCP server. So in that case, how we will be able to distribute the IPs? How we will be able to configure the policies for them? What laptop will be, which MAC address will be able to take the IP address, or which will not be able to? So these all filter we can allow in the DHCP. How to configure multiple types of scopes, like you have class A network, class B network, class C network. So how to distribute the IPs from all these scopes? All these things we'll be covering in the this topic. All right. Then, okay, name resolution is done. Network access policy. This is also must. So network access policy is basically you are going to allow, if let's say you are configuring a VPN server on Windows Server. Mostly VPN you are going to configure on your firewalls, but a server also can act as a firewall, right? Or you can and you can configure the VPN server on the server operating system itself, right? So you want to allow again that who will be able to connect VPN and who will not be able to, for how long they will be able to connect. You can define session also, that a user will be able to connect for 1 hour only, right? You can define the days, that from Monday to Friday only users will be able to connect your VPN server. All right. So all these things can be defined in the network policy, network access policy. All right. Then file and print services. You want to configure a print server, right? So how to configure a print server, how to manage it, how to allow the users that they will be able to either take a colored printer or a black and white print. So all those things we can define, all those things we can restrict by configuring the file and print services. Then under file and print services, we have configure a file server, then configure distributed file system, DFS. So what is DFS? See, if let's say I have multiple file servers in the company, right? So these are file servers, for example, and I need to access them from my laptop. So tell me guys, how I will be able to access these file servers from my laptop? How I will be able to?
LAN or
I think first of all, system should have to be in the domain,
Okay, that is fine. Next.
and secondly, we should have the server access from the AD
Okay,
to our
that is
domain.
fine. Okay, everything we have in place.
Mm,
So I just want to access it. That's it. How I will be able to? Is there any method to access file servers or any network share? How we can access network share?
we should have to. There are so many options. I think we
Huh?
should have to create a AD group and uh, take the access from that.
AD is fine.
And
Everything is fine. Everything is in place. I'm just asking that how I
mm,
will be able to access the file share. That's it. Everything is in place. Everything is working. AD groups, user has the access of file share, everything. But I want to access it. How I will be able to?
I have file server IP address.
Exactly. Right. So we need to go to run, and then we have to type double backslash and then the IP of the server. And then only I will be able to access it. And if
I
let's
think
say
it is like the mapping.
mapping is different thing, we are just talking about mapping is a different thing, right? We are here just talking about how to access the network file share. Okay.
Uh,
Okay. So 1.1 for this server, 1.2 for this server, 1.3 for this server, and 1.4 for this server. This is how only we will be able to perform, right? We will be able to access.
yes, sir.
But with the help of distributed file system, DFS, I can make this thing easy. User need no to type IP of individual servers. They will just create a DFS namespace. For example, The namespace would be the name you are providing. Namespace is nothing. The namespace is basically name you are providing to access the data. Okay, so let's say the name I'm providing is company data or data only. So now these users need to access only
Data.
/ data. Exactly. And this namespace is going to be connected with all these servers.
We
Obviously,
are
if, huh?
actually we are giving a name to the all the IPs.
No,
We are
no.
connecting the.
We are just accessing the data which is physically available on multiple servers using a single name. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Right. So it might possible that there will be a file here.
And what is the feature of this data? This is DFS.
DFS, distributed file system. Yes. Right. So let's say one document is in this server. Right. One is in this machine. Oh, let me see some more example. Okay, let me take this one. Right. So if my user wants to frequently access these data, right? So either they have to type the IPs of servers again and again, individually servers IP again and again, or what I can do to make their job easy, I will just make a DFS namespace. And after configuring the namespace, the users have to access only data. So whatever the servers are now connected with the namespace, the user will be able to access the data of those servers. Likewise, we can add as many as servers we want. So this is called DFS namespace. DFS has one more feature, that is DFS replication. This is called a namespace. DFS has two parts basically, DFS namespace and DFS replication. What replication will do? For example, I have this server which is available in my corporate office, right? And these are my branch locations. Server 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So if I want that they should replicate their data to my corporate office. Acha, take one example of these food chains like McD, Domino's, right? So they used to reconcile their sales, right? So whatever the sale they have done for a particular day, always the data is going to be synchronized with the corporate office, so that the team which is sitting in the corporate office, they will be able to analyze the sale of a particular location. Right. So how to replicate the data, how to replicate the sales data from one location to corporate office. So this is we can do with the help of DFS replication. So we can set up a schedule, or we can do the continuous replication, that as soon as one entry is going to be generated on this server, at that time itself it should replicate to the server, it should replicate to my corporate office. Or I can define the schedule that every day 11 o'clock in the night, it should replicate all the data which is available in these servers. I can make a schedule, or I can do the continuous replication. Choice is yours. So all those things, how to configure it, how to manage it, how to replicate the data, right? We are going to see in the DFS topic. So DFS two parts, which is namespace and DFS replication. All right. Next, shadow copy. Shadow copy, basically you can say, if you need to take the snapshot of your data, someone, for example, someone accidentally deleted your data, how you will be able to get it back? or even you have not enabled the backup for the data, for that particular data, the backup is not enabled. So how we can get it back? So server has a feature of shadow copies where actually it is going to take the snapshot of the data, right? So that if someone will delete your data, we will be able to retain it. We will be able to get it back using the shadow copies. If the shadow copies are generated, then only we will be able to get it back. Okay, then how to configure backup and restore? Then disk quota. If you have 1 TB space available in your disk, but you want the users will be able to use only 10 GB, you want to restrict them using the space, so you can define the quota. Disk quota you can apply, right? Along with it, you can restrict the users that what kind of files they will be able to upload on your file servers. Like you want the users will not be able to upload any audio or video file. How we can restrict? We can restrict them by using file screening option. So it comes under file server resource manager, FSRM, right? So FSRM also has two parts, which is disk quota, and the second one is file screening. File screening, what kind of data the users will be able to upload on your file server. So we can restrict them. All right. Then WSUS server, major topic again. Windows Server Update Services. How to do the patching in the organization. Achha, to be very honest, nowadays companies are using SCCM, Software Center Configuration Manager, to patch their servers or to patch their laptops. But how to do the patching with the help of WSUS? So we'll be covering WSUS here. Okay, we will not be covering SCCM because SCCM is a separate module. Okay, if you want, you can enroll for SCCM as well. Right. So for a system administrator, it is a combo, right? Where actually you can learn MCSA, you can learn Azure, you can learn Intunes, you can learn SCCM. So this is a combo actually, which nowadays, if you are looking for the job, so for any of the system administration profile, right, somewhere you will find that yes, they are looking for a person who has the knowledge of SCCM, who has the knowledge of Intunes, who has the knowledge of Azure, and who has the knowledge of servers. All right. So how to configure, how to patch the servers, how to deploy the updates released by the Microsoft to your infra using WSUS. We will configure it practically. All right. Then storage and WDS, again the major topic, Windows Deployment Services. Right? How to install operating system onto the laptop. See, whenever a company is going to procure a new laptop, so what do you think? Are they going to use the default image provided by the company, like image in the sense operating system? So is the company is going to use the default operating system? Yes or no?
No.
Exactly, no. They are going to deploy their own operating system. So how to deploy the own operating system? In that case, we have to set up the WDS. We will configure the WDS, and by using network services, by using Pixie boot, right, we will be able to install the operating system. It depends whether we need to install Windows 10 or Windows 11. And if you want that during the installation, some of the basic softwares will get installed along with operating system, we can do that as well. We can capture the image, that is called as basically sysprep, right? So we can capture the image of a referenced image where actually you have installed some softwares. For example, Acrobat you have installed, Chrome you installed, Office you installed, right? So you need, whenever you will build a new laptop using WDS services, in that case, those softwares will be installed automatically. All right. So in that case, we have to set up the WDS. We have to capture the image. That capture image we need to store onto our WDS server. And when we are going to install the operating system onto the laptop, at that time, we have to select that captured image. So you can deploy either Windows 10 or Windows 11 or even server operating system also. We can deploy it using WDS. But majorly in companies, it is only client operating system, not server operating system. All right, so this comes under WDS. Then high availability of your file servers, configure storage, how to configure the storage and all, right? iSCSI disk, how to create the iSCSI disk, how to manage it, how to configure the high availability for your iSCSI drives, file servers. So all these will be covering in this module. And then web services. If you need to host a website, right? In that case, we will be needing some feature installed onto the server, and that is called as IIS, Internet Information Services. Right? So once you will install the Internet Information Services, then only you will be able to access the website which you are going to host onto it. Like you are able to access facebook.com, microsoft.com. So how you are able to access? On the back end, obviously, it is hosted on a server. That is why you are able to access it. Right? So how to configure it? That we'll see. And then FTP, File Transfer Protocol. Nowadays, we have SFTP, Secure File Transfer Protocol. So how to configure it? So this also will be covering in the web services module. All right. Then again, security, permission, who will be able to access FTP, who will not be able to, what level of access they are going to have, whether they will be able to create some data or not, right? Or only they are going to have read-only access. So these all things will be covering in this. All right. Then, yeah. So these all topics, guys, we'll be covering, and it would be in total around 44 topics we are going to cover in this whole module, which is going to take, if we are going to take classes on weekend, and the classes would be for 2.5 or 3 hours, in that case, it will take 2 to 3 months to complete this topic, to complete this whole module. Now, if you have any question, we are open for it, and then I will show you a short demo. Yes, please.
Sir, can we get a recording of these?
Everything you will get. So once we will be able to end our session, at that time itself, recording would be available on your portal. All right. Along with it, I will be helping you out with the PPTs, whatever the PPTs are there, like for Active Directory, for BitLocker, okay, and DFS, web server. So everything, the PPTs, I will be helping you out. Along with it, I will help you out with the interview questions also. And then I will give you one PDF of Windows Server, where actually you will be able to get the in-depth knowledge of a Windows operating system.
After giving few classes, can we practice the same?
Sorry?
After giving some classes, for 2-3 classes we have given, and then we want to practice, like we want to configure the servers.
Yes. I'll be coming on that point. Just wait. Yes, obviously, whatever the things I have mentioned, it is totally practical. It is not theoretical, first of all. We are practically going to implement it. Right? Now, how to perform the practicals question is that, right?
Yes, sir.
So to configure the practicals, we have hypervisors like VMware, Hyper-V, or VirtualBox. You have to make sure that at least you should have 8 GB RAM in your laptop, and at least you should have SSD in your laptop, 512 GB. 8 GB RAM I would recommend if you want, if you
Minimum.
need to perform, yeah, minimum. If you need to perform labs in your own laptop.
Okay, sir.
If you don't have, then in that case, need not to worry. Networking also, we also are going to provide you the labs. Okay, so over there also, the servers are already configured. You have to just make your configuration. That's it.
Okay,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah. So in your case, if let's say in your laptop you need to perform that, at least you then you should have 8 GB RAM, and then you should have 512 GB of SSD. This is must, because
Okay.
sometime it might possible we have to work on 3 or 4 virtual machine,
Hmm.
right? So in that case, we will not be able to perform it if you are going to have 4 GB RAM. So it is not possible. So at least 8 GB RAM is must to perform all the practicals of MCSA. Rest, if you don't have, need not to worry. We also are going to provide you
250
the
GB
lab
SSD.
access.
250
That is
GB
also
SSD.
fine. That is also fine. 250 GB is also fine. SSD is
Okay.
must, because if we want the read write operation should be
Mhm.
high, then in that case we should go with the SSD. You can, if you have normal SSD, then also it is fine. But in that case, it might take some time to for the configuration.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you are patient, if you can wait for some time, then it is okay. You can go with the normal SSD. But if you don't want to wait, then in that case, SSD is fine. Or you can use external SSDs also, right? Rather than
Yes, sir.
inserting the SSD in your laptop, just use external SSD. Install operating system onto that. Boot your laptop with the external SSD, and then you will be able to configure your labs. Even the same thing I am doing, right? I turned on this laptop from my external SSD. All right. So this is how you can do. Or even if you need some help, I will help you out during the practicals. Okay, that how to boot your laptop with the external SSD. All right.
Okay, sir.
So
Thank you.
can an
Hello, sir.
absolute fresher actually learn MCSA? Because I am currently doing CCNA right now,
Okay.
and I just want to learn about MCSA also. So can a fresher like learn this? Or
Yes.
there supposed to be any prerequisite that you have
N-
to finish your CCNA?
Not at all. Right,
Hello, sir.
I'll be starting my classes from very scratch. Even if you have not, if you any one of you has not heard about servers, what are servers, so I'll be covering it from very scratch. And the basic knowledge, you can say yes, if you have already IP addresses knowledge, then it would be fine. That's it. Apart from that, need not to worry about. I'll be covering all the things from very
Hmm.
scratch, and you will be able to understand it.
So knowing about
Hello.
IP addresses, matlab like subnetting, masking, and all that is something that you need to know, right?
Yes,
To learn this.
only basic. Yes, class A, class B, class C. That's it. Rest nothing. Subnetting and all. Yes, if you have knowledge, then it's good. But if you don't have the knowledge of subnetting, then also it is fine. All right.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah. No problem.
Sir, hello,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, please.
Sir, actually, I was not present in the first 15 to 20 minutes because of the link problem. So my question is that I am not a student from technical background. Okay, sir.
Uh-huh.
So just I have completed CCNA
Uh-huh.
1 month ago, and
Okay.
after that I am now joining in MCSA.
Mm-hmm.
So my question is, sir, is there any other background knowledge required for the MCSA course,
This is what
excluding
mentioned,
CCNA?
Hemanta. This is what I mentioned to Akhila. See, need not to worry about, right?
Yes.
Now you have a technical background, right? You told that you already joined SCCNA, right? So you
Ha,
have a
CCNA I
technical
have
background.
completed, sir.
So
Yes,
then
yes.
need not to worry, right? So if you have
Hmm.
the IP knowledge, that is fine for me. Okay,
And
rest
sir,
don't
also,
even to.
sir, after CCNA, which is sir or this, sir, doing CCNP or sir like MCSA or Linux, this type of courses?
That is your choice. That in which field you want to go, right?
Hmm.
So if you want to
With
go for server administration, right, then in
hmm,
that case you go
hmm,
for MCSA. You should go for Azure. You should go for SCCM. You should go for Intunes. But if you want to go purely on networking, then in that case CCNP, then go for Azure networking. That is a different path. Okay, so for my, let me explain it. Let me write down here. See guys,
hmm.
if you are learning MCSA, then what would be the career path? How you should go further? So MCSA is, first of all, it is very basic thing. Let me write down in the paint. See, based on my experience, right, I'm explaining this thing, right? So career path for system administrator. Can you please mute yourself? Okay. MCSA. First of all, you are doing MCSA, right? Where actually you will be able to get the knowledge on servers. And that is must for a system admin profile, or even if let's say you want to upgrade your profile. Someone, let's say, working as a desktop support engineer, right? They want to upgrade their profile. In that case also, this career path is going to help you out. Okay. So MCSA servers, you should get the knowledge of servers, and then you should go for SCCM, Software Center Configuration Manager plus Intunes, right? Along with it, you should go for Azure 104. Right? And then you can go for either Azure Security, like Azure 500, or you can go for Azure 700, that is networking. And after that, you can move to the DevOps. But for DevOps, you have to learn Linux also. Linux, along with Linux, you have to learn multiple technologies like Ansible, Terraform, all right? And then you have Kubernetes, right? And then
And
you
these
have
are automation tool, I think, no?
yes, exactly. So in order to learn DevOps, okay, you should have knowledge of all these things. Then only you can move yourself as a DevOps engineer.
Sir, how much experience we need to reach there?
At least 5 years.
Okay.
5 years of experience if you have on all these technologies, then you can go for DevOps.
Okay, sir.
Got it?
Sir, I'm doing as a service desk engineer job. I have to switch my career in MCSA server.
Right. So this
Uh,
is the path which you should follow. This is
uh,
the actual path which you should follow.
in making my resume, I make my resume by myself, but
Hmm.
I have written such point that I do not know what I written, and I got deselected from an interview last month. So I
Okay.
need assistance.
So you need CV guidance, how to create CV.
CVS and
Don't worry. Don't worry. Leave it to me. That is
Then,
that thing also.
sir,
I will help you out how to create a CV for a system admin profile. Okay.
then,
Yes,
sir,
please.
what is the purpose of doing CCNA plus MCSA plus Linux? That what is suggesting from they are suggesting from
See,
you.
Linux. Okay. So once you're going to work as a system admin, it might possible in that organization, you have to work on Linux also. And
Okay.
CCNA. For any of this thing, if you're doing MCSA, if you're doing SCCM, if you're doing Azure, CCNA, networking knowledge is must. If you're not aware of
Okay.
IPs, if you're not aware of routing protocols, right, how we will be able to set up the communication?
Oh, okay, sir.
Right. So
So
these are
MCSA is
very
the
basic one.
basic of.
Huh.
Acha, acha, okay, sir. So MCSA is the very basic part of server administration, right, sir?
Yes, basic, as well as we will be moving to advanced also in this course. We will be covering advanced things as well. Okay, this is from basic to advanced we are going to do.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
sir, what was the advanced topic? Name one of them, please.
Um, PowerShell,
Oh, okay. Bash scripting, I
bash
think.
scripting, yes. Okay, and
So can we get jobs from by MCSA?
yes, you can get a job, right? But in order to get a good job, in order to get a good package, right, then in that
Yes.
case these things are must.
Up to Azure 104.
Yes, up to 104 you should go for all these things, and then you can
then we can move
grab
as
a
a
good
cyber
job
and
in the market. Yes, yes. Okay,
Sir,
even
I know Azure 104, but I do not have a certificate. That would be a problem or not?
certification is a add-on for your profile.
But I know the concept behind
That is
Azure.
fine. That is fine. But sometime companies are looking for the person who has the certificate.
Yes, I got deselected for this 2 times.
Hmm. Right. So sometimes companies are looking for the person who has already the certification. Okay. So this is the career path, guys. And next thing I'm going to show you one short demo. Right.
okay,
So,
sir.
acha, first of all, to perform all these labs, we will be needing hypervisors, right? So choice is yours. You can work on VMware, you can work on Hyper-V. So Hyper-V, if you have Windows 10 Pro or Windows 11 Pro in your laptops, then by default, Hyper-V is there. You have to just enable it. How you can enable? Just go to search and type here, turn Windows feature on or off. Right here, you have to enable Hyper-V. For me, it is already enabled and Hyper-V is already installed in my machine. So in your case, if you're using Pro or Enterprise version, you have to just go to turn Windows feature on or off, or you have to select and then OK. You will be able to see Hyper-V in your laptop. If you have home version of Windows 10 or 11, then also need not to worry. I will help you out with one script. You have to run that script in your laptop, and then you will be able to get Hyper-V in your laptop. Right? Next, VMware. VMware is available on internet itself. You can download it. Right? So for initially, it is going to give you a 30-day trial, but later on, I will give you one activation key, and it is not going to ask you for the activation code and all. So once you are going to add that activation key, it would be available for lifelong. All right. And then ISO images of operating system. We need to download the ISO images. See. Okay, we'll be working on server 22. There are multiple flavor of Windows operating system available. Windows Server operating system is available with Microsoft. That is Server 2016, Server 2019, and Server 2022. Server 2022 is the latest one. And we'll be covering all the classes on Server 2022 only. Okay, so how to download the ISO of Server 22? So just type here, download Server 2022 evaluation version. Evaluation version is basically Microsoft is giving you the license for 6 months. Right? Still 6 months, it is not going to ask you for the license. All right. So just select Windows Server 2022. And from here, you have to download the ISO image, download the ISO. So I would recommend you guys in our next class, at least you should download all these ISOs. Okay. So I am giving you this link and download the ISO in your laptops. How to create the virtual machine and all, this I will let you know in the next class, but at least you should download the ISO. Okay, so this is for server operating system. Now we need to test whether whatever the configuration we are doing on server, it is getting implemented on the client machines or not. So obviously for that we will be needing Windows 10 or Windows 11, right? So to download Windows 11, same way, just go to either you can download Windows 10 or you can download Windows 11, right? Just select download ISO Enterprise, this thing. So in this case, the Windows 10 license will be valid for 3 months. Okay. So this is the link to download the ISO for Windows 10. You should download Windows 10 ISO also. Right now, let me go to my VMware. So this is the VMware, right? So based on the configuration you have in your laptop, you can define the you can define the configuration for your virtual machines also. Because see, if you're going to take the virtual machine, if you're going to configure the virtual machine, they are going to take the compute power from your laptop itself. Guys, just a second, just give me a moment. All right, so sorry for the interruption. All right, so I was talking about that if I need to create the virtual machine, either it would be a server or it would be a client, right? I need to make sure that they should that I should have a good compute power with my laptop. For example, so how this virtualization technique works, let me explain it. For example, this is my laptop, right? On this laptop, obviously there is one operating system. Let's say it is Windows 10 operating system. On this Windows 10 operating system, I'm going to install the hypervisor. For example, Hyper-V or VMware. So this is my Hyper-V or VMware. Now inside this Hyper-V, I'm going to create multiple virtual machines like VM1, VM2, and so on. So if I need to run them, then in that case, they are going to take the compute in the sense we have to define CPU, right? We have to define RAM, we have to define hard disk, and then network, NIC. So from where it is going to take? It is going to take from the base machine, from your laptop. This is what happening in my case also. On this Windows 10, I installed VMware, and on VMware I configured these virtual machines, and these virtual machines, all of these virtual machines has RAM, processor, hard disk, network cards. So from where they are taking? They are taking all these compute power from my laptop. All right, so let me turn on one machine from PDC. Okay, primary domain controller. For now, need not to worry about, right? How to configure PDC and all we'll be covering from very scratch. This is just for your a demo. And let me turn on one client machine also. So I'm just turning on Windows 7. How to take checkpoint, how to take snapshots, why it is needed, right? So I'll show you in the next session. All right, guys. So this is my primary domain controller, whose domain name is lab.com, right? And let me log in onto it. So after this, if let's say you are interested for Azure 104, I will show you the topics of 104 as well. And then it's your choice whether you want to enroll or not. All right. And this would be the client machine, right? So this is what I told initially, that if this Windows 7 wants to become the part of lab.com, then until or unless it will not be able to communicate with lab, it can't be the part of domain, right? So that is why DNS is must. That is why DNS needed. Just give me a moment, I'll show you. Okay, this server is running with class C IP, that is 192.168.1.1. Yeah, 1.1. Right? And how to access the directory services? You have shortcut commands also. So I will be helping you out the shortcut command as well, right? That how you will be able to use shortcuts in your server. Okay, let's say I want to access directory services. So in that case, I will go with dsa.msc. I will be able to see my active directory, and I will be able to create the users. So computers will be visible here in computers, and then the users, I'm going to create the users account here. Okay, so for example, I'm creating a new account, u1, then next, so now u1 is the employee of lab of my organization basically. So if I want, this u1 user will be able to log in onto my domain laptop. So first of all, that laptop should be the part of my domain. Then only this domain user will be able to log in. All right. So to make this laptop as the part of my domain, I have to make sure the same range of IP should be configured here as well. So for now, we are not using DHCP. So that is why I'm assigning IP, static IP to the virtual machine. IPv4 192.168.1.50. The same range of IP I'm assigning. And see, for now, I'm not assigning DNS because I want to show you the difference. Okay. 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 And close it. Let's try to ping lab.com. Ping lab.com.
We are not getting response.
Exactly. Because it is not able to resolve your query. But at the same time, if you will try to ping the IP, will you be able to get the response? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes, sir.
Why?
Because
Because you have
we are
already
given
provided
static
your
IP.
access.
Yes, because we are already onto the same network. That is why we will be able to ping, right? It is working. Now to get the response from lab.com, we should assign the DNS of lab, which is 1.1. All right. So I'll go to the network settings again. Or even if you'll try to join the system onto domain also. So let me give you a shortcut. So shortcut command you can use to go to the system properties, that is sysdm.cpl. I made one PPT of the shortcuts. No need not to worry. I will provide you over the classroom, Google Classroom. Okay. Domain lab.com and then okay. It will not work, right? But as soon as I will configure the DNS of my primary domain controller, now first of all, let's check the ping response for lab.com, right? So
Sure.
now my name is getting resolved with the help of DNS, right? And same way, now this laptop will also become the part of my domain. I got
Domain.
the login credentials. I need to give the credentials of administrator, and then this laptop will become the part of lab.com. Now that U1 user which you created, right? The U1 user will be able to log in here. And now this system is in your control. Now the users will not be able to make any kind of change onto this laptop, onto this virtual machine. Every time admin credentials will be needed if they need to perform any change. Even the user will not be able to change the IP. They will not be able to install any operating system. No, they will not be able to make the changes. Even once you will apply your company's wallpaper, that also the users will not be able to change, right? And if you want to see, you can see the entry of this system in your computer's container. Let me refresh. Here it is, admin-vc.
Can we set automatically turn off time?
Yes, we can do that. All right. And now on this system, that U1 user, that domain user will be able to log in. And by default, guys, every user which is part of your domain will be logging onto any system of your domain. By default, any user of your Active Directory will be able to log in onto the systems of your domain. But if you want to restrict that, U1 will be able to log in onto admin-PC only. Apart from that, he will not be able to log in onto any other device. We can restrict them as well. We can restrict him also. That is a different thing. I'll show you in the classes itself. Once we'll start the topics from topics, and over there I will be explaining each and everything. All right. See now. Other user, and let's log in with U1 account and its password. And here we go. Here it is. Right now, the user, this U1 user, will not be able to make any kind of change onto this machine. Even I'll show you. And let me show you one more lab. I think server, if it is running, if you want to see the lab for web server, right? That also I can show you. Yeah, see. So if I'll try to make any change into the IP, let me see whether I'm able to do it or not. Like whether this U1 user is able to do it or not. As an admin, I can do whatever I want, right? But the user will not be able to do. See, properties, and here it will prompt for the password. So this is now in our control. All right. So this is just a small demo. How to do it practically, we'll be seeing in the upcoming classes. Okay. How to create the virtual machine, right? So in our first class itself, I will explain. So already I gave you the link to download the ISO images. Please download it so that once you will configure our virtual machine, you can configure it with me. And if you're facing any kind of issue during the configuration, I will take your system on remote and I will help you out with the configuration. Okay. Now, the second thing is, if, okay, let's say you want to access any website. As I told that you have to install IIS feature onto the laptop. That without IIS feature, we will not be able to access the website. All right. And if you want to access, like if you want your website should be available worldwide, right? Then you should have a public IP with your website. You should have a static public IP. You can bind that public IP with your a website name, and then the users will be able to reach to your website. Right. So for now, I don't have the public static IP, but I can show you this demo on Azure. All right. So this is my Azure portal. So for this, again, I will be needing a virtual machine. And I think I do have one, but let me check. Because, yeah, okay, it got deleted. Anyways, let's create a new virtual machine. So in Azure also, guys, we are going to cover multiple topics. Around 9 modules are going to be there, where we are going to talk about security, firewall, right? Then networking, then virtual machine scale set. All right, all those things we'll be covering in the Azure. Okay, so I want to create a virtual machine here, and let me just name it as web-server. Okay, region east US, availability zone no. Availability zone is basically a different thing where actually you can configure the redundancy of your virtual machines. These things you are going to learn in the Azure module. Okay, so for example, I'm creating a Windows 2019 data center server. This would be the compute power, but I need more. I'm going with 2 virtual CPU and 8 gig of RAM. And then the username you have to provide. Guys, just a second. Uh, give me a moment. I'm resharing my screen. All right, let me reshare it. All right, password. We have to define the password of the virtual machine. So let me define the password. Right. So in order to take the system on remote, we should make sure that port 3389 should be enabled. Port 3389 is RDP port. Acha, in case of MCSA, right, I will be helping you out with the port numbers also. I will give you one PPT of port numbers. Right, that DHCP works on which port number, DNS works on which, HTTP, HTTPS, right? So all those things, I will give you the PPT of the port number, right? So I'm allowing port 3389. Along with it, I am going to host a website on this server. So I have to enable HTTP port also. And HTTP, if I have the certificate of the website, then in that case, I can enable 443 as well. But for now, we don't have the certificate. So I'm just going to enable port 80 only, and then go next. Disk. Obviously, in order to create an operating system, we will be needing a disk. And in case of Azure, whenever you're going to create a Windows operating system, you will be getting a C drive of 127 GB by default. But if you need to expand it, you can do it. It can be expanded to 2 TB. Right. So I'm just going with the default size. And then rest, I can attach an external disk also, but for now it is not needed. Let's go with the default one. Let's go with the C drive only. Then go networking. So this is going to be the networking, subnet, and public IP. Yes, we will be needing public IP on this machine. I'm going to select basic and static. Standard is basically is more expensive than basic, where actually you are going to get low latency if you're going to select standard, right? So I'm just going with the basic one because basic is cheaper than the standard. All right, and then okay. Rest of the things are fine. Just review and create. So this would be the cost, guys. Microsoft is going to charge 15 rupees 64 paisa per hour, right? And then create. So there are multiple templates, free templates available for the websites. It can be downloaded from the internet itself, because see, we are not developers, right? We can't write the hard code like a hardcore code. Okay, it is not possible for us. So I'm just going to download one website from the internet and then I'm going to host it. All right. And meanwhile, I'll be showing you the SCCM also. Okay, let me connect to the server. I already have the SCCM lab. Let me see if I'm able to connect it. I was facing some issue from last 2 days actually with this server. We'll see. Yeah, yes, it is working now. Okay, now here I'll show you. This is the actually server which I'm using for my labs, right? For my labs, I used to have all the configuration on this server. See. So I configured all my servers on Hyper-V. See, these are my servers, right? And let me stop these machines. Turn off, turn off. Okay, so these much of virtual machines I used to have in my labs, right? And this is my SCCM environment, which I used for my previous batch, right? So SCCM also is capable of deploying the patches. And even nowadays, companies are doing it through SCCM itself. They are installing the operating system from SCCM. They are deploying the softwares to their client machine with the help of SCCM. So how SCCM looks like, that also I'll show you. See, why I told after MCSA you should go for this thing, because see, once you are able to get the knowledge of domain controllers and all, right, you will be able to work on SCCM environment as well. So that is why I made like that only, that first of all MCSA, then SCCM, then cloud. All right. Start. Okay, so meanwhile these servers are getting started. Let me see. Yeah, so on Azure also this virtual machine is created, right? Let's go to resource. So in order to take the system on remote, as we already allowed port number 3389, so we just need to add the public IP of the virtual machine. All right, so this is the public IP, you can see, right? Just a moment. Mm, let me just connect it, web hyphen server, and its password. Okay guys, so I'm connecting to this virtual machine. which is hosted on Azure, right? Now this is not in my data center, or this is not in networking data center, right? So this is actually is configured in the Microsoft data center. So I selected the region as East US. That means somewhere in East US, Microsoft has occupied one data center, and onto that data center, one physical server is there, and onto that physical server, this virtual machine is configured. This is how the architecture is. All right. All right. So now, in order to host the website, first of all, we need to install the feature, that is Internet Information Services, IS, right? So how to install it? So this is called Server Console. Server Manager is basically called as a Server Console, where actually you will be able to manage the server, where actually you will be able to see that what and all roles and features are available in the server. All right. So here you can see add roles and feature. Whatever the roles needs to be installed onto the server, it should go via add roles and features only. So basically it is getting refreshed, right? You can see a blue bar. So just wait for some time. Will take 1 or 2 minutes. All right. Now go to add roles and features. Next, next, next. So we want to host a website. In that case, you should install the web server feature, that is IIS, right? Select web server, add feature, next. So guys, whenever we are going to install any kind of feature onto the server, to install that feature, there are some prerequisites which this feature is going to select automatically. No need to uncheck it. It is going to select the features automatically, right? So you should not uncheck anything. Then go next, next. So these all things, no need to uncheck on these things also, but if you are going to uncheck it, it might possible you will not be able to access the website. All right, so it should be as it is. Then next, restart if needed. If let's say during the installation something went wrong and servers needs a reboot, in that case you can select restart if needed. All right, and then install. Meanwhile, let's download a free website. Uh, what was the name? Just a sec. Free website. Yeah, it was CSS Corp, right? Website download. Hey, did I? मैंने यहाँ पे firewall configure किया क्या? Just a second.
Sir, did you allow inbound traffic?
That is okay. I know. Just a sec. Actually, yesterday I had a class of Azure. Over there, I configured the Azure Azure firewall, and I denied the internet connection over there. So it might possible that in the same region I did it, and that is why I'm not able to access internet here. Anyways, we can do what we can do. We can configure this thing on other region, because firewall deletion and all, it is not possible for now. It is not there, man. Okay, just a second. Right. So this is all because of firewall, right? Okay. Firewall, what should we do in this case? Okay, I have a website in my local machine. Okay, actually this is all because of firewall. This is all because my previous class I discussed about firewall, and I tag that firewall with this resource group. So that is why I'm not able to access the internet. I blocked the internet actually. That is why I'm not able to. Okay, so this thing I'll show you in the classes that how we can do it. Okay. Okay, these are the PPTs, guys, which I'm going to help you out for the MCSA. Okay, and meanwhile, just give me a moment. Downloads. Yeah, so this is the website, right? Let me copy it to the server. Okay, so whenever you used to install the IIS feature, a default page is going to be configured so that you will be able to check whether your web server is working fine or not. So everyone, try to access this IP on your browser and let me know what response you are getting. In your browser, just directly type 13.90.195.92.
It's coming ISA default page.
Exactly. So this should be there. That means web server feature is installed correctly. Now we'll have the website. Okay. So, all right. So the default page, let me show you which page you are able to see. The path would be C inetpub and www root, and this page you are able to see now, right? The same page you're able to see, right?
Yes, yes, sir. This is the
Great.
one that
Yeah. Now, but I want to host my website. I don't want this page should be visible. I want my website should be visible. So in that case, first of all, I have to place that website into the same path. Right. And even let me delete this thing, compress zip folder. I'm just directly going to add it. Right. And let's delete this thing. Now, to host your own website, go to Tools and select Internet Information Services Manager. Right? Expand Web Server, expand Sites. So this is the default site which you are able to see now. But I don't want, so first of all, I'm going to delete it. I'm going to remove it. And I'm going to add my own website, right? So right click on Sites, select Add Website, and then give the site name. So it was something Neo Gym, right? Neo Gym. And you have to give the path. So where is your website? It is under C inetpub and www root. So expand C drive, expand inetpub, and then select www root, and then select neogym-html, and then OK, and then OK. Now try to refresh the same page, guys. Try to refresh the same page and let me know what you are getting. Even let me try in my machine also. What's the public IP?
Yeah, new gym site is coming.
Website you're able to see, right? So this is how you are going to host the website on Windows Server. Same way you can access you can host the websites on Linux machines also. But as we'll be covering on Windows, so this is how we can do it. right? Even let me show you what kind of page you're able to see. Copy and yep. So this is the page actually, this is the website actually which I downloaded from the internet. Okay, yeah, it's kind of this thing you will get. Right, for now you can see it is not secured. To make it secured, we will be needing the certificate. So once we will upload the certificate on our website, then the communication between the user and the server, it would be encrypted, it would be secured. For now it is in plain text, means whatever you will access on this website, any third party or any third user or let's say any hacker will be able to check your online uh, identity, or will be able to check your online whatever you are trying to access. He will be able to check it, he will be able to monitor it. But if you don't want it, then in that case obviously we'll be needing the certificate to make the connection encrypted, to make the connection secured. So this is just a small demo. Need not to worry how to do it from very scratch and all. What is the purpose? How to bind the certificate with the website, right? So all these things I'll be explaining in the topic, right? The last thing for today is SCCM. This is what I explained, right? MCSA and then SCCM. Acha, Intunes is nowadays is replacing SCCM. Intunes again, it is a software as a service provided by the Microsoft. No need to set up the servers and all. You can see in case of SCCM, I configured 3 servers, right? These 3 servers, one is database, one is my primary site server, and one is my domain controller. But in case of Intunes, no need to do. Everything is going to be managed by the Microsoft. You have to just take the subscription, that's it. You have to just take the license based on users, that's it. No need to configure servers and all. But still SCCM is going to remain in the market for at least 5 to 10 years, because doing patching for your on-prem infra, it is way easy to perform it through the SCCM. All right, so how it looks like, and even to deploy the softwares also.
In all access pass, there is SCCM recording is there.
That I'm
Yeah,
not
guys,
seeing.
it's there. It's a part of all access pass.
But by what name?
After this meeting, just call me. I'll help you how to do it. Okay, how to find it.
Okay.
So, guys, you are aware about what is all access pass?
Nope.
So this all access pass is basically we have a more than 50 plus courses, videos, self-paced videos basically. So related to cloud, cybersecurity, networking, DevOps, DevNet, each and everything is there. So whatever the batches, let's take example that Saitya is delivering this MCSA and Azure. So these video is gonna part of this all access pass. After this meeting, I'll just explain and I'll show you how you can see the things. Saitya, just inform me once you're done with the session.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah, sure. Okay, so with SCCM, guys, we can do multiple things, right? You can get the report of your inventory of your devices, right? You want to see that what and all softwares are installed onto a particular laptop, how to get the report. You can get the report from SCCM itself, right? You need to deploy some softwares, you can do from the SCCM itself. You want to deploy operating system, you can do it from SCCM itself. If let's say you have you have Windows 10 laptops, right, and you want to upgrade it to Windows 11, that also we can do. No need to get laptop in front of you, you can do it remotely. So multiple features are there. Again, in SCCM, if you're going to enroll, in that case, we'll be covering around 15 modules, where we'll talk about configuration from very scratch, how to configure database, how to add the database, right? Then how to install the agent onto the machine, because if the agent is not going to be there, it is not going to be it is not going to communicate with our SCCM console, right? And then operating system deployment, software deployment, patches deployment, managing BitLocker, managing Windows Defender. We can take the systems on remote also. If you want to take any system on remote, we can do that with the help of SCCM. Multiple things are there. All right. Or even if you will find this profile on Naukri, right? There are multiple jobs for SCCM administrator also. Right.
Can
So
someone
once you will complete your MCSA, first of all, you have to cover your all concepts, and then you can opt for all these things. Yes, please.
Sir, can just after service desk, after learning MCS and SSCM,
Hmm.
we can get a job in this?
Obviously, you will get. Obviously.
Okay, okay.
So whatever the modules I will be covering, that is more than enough to grab the job. It depends on you how you are representing yourself in front of interviewer, right? I can help you out with the topics. I can clear your all concepts, but it depends you how you are representing yourself, right? How?
सर गुड आफ्टरनून सर.
Yes, good noon.
ये सर मैं एक बात बोल रहा था सर. आप ये जो इंस्टॉल कर रहे हैं सर, ये जो सर्वर है मतलब जो 2022 का ये जो डैशबोर्ड, ये सर मतलब इसको कैसे इंस्टॉल करेंगे सर? अगर मैं इसको रूट डाउनलोड करूंगा मतलब पूरा होल फॉर्मेट होगा क्या सिस्टम, या फिर वर्चुअल बॉक्स में करूंगा, या फिर आप जैसे अभी कर रहे हैं? थोड़ा कंफ्यूजन हो रहा है.
अभी अभी भूल जाओ, अभी मैं आपको नहीं बता रहा हूँ ये सब, ठीक है? नेक्स्ट क्लास में कैसे इंस्टॉल करना है, देन आई लेट यू नो. ओके, दिस इज जस्ट
अच्छा
अ
नहीं सर,
डेमो.
बस बस थोड़ा मुझे ये प्रोसेस थोड़ा बताएंगे सर, क्योंकि मैं इसको थोड़ा प्रैक्टिस करूंगा सर. ऑलरेडी मैं इसका कोर्स किया हूँ सर, सीसीएनए का किया था, इसका भी किया था ये सर. मतलब भुवनेश्वर से, मैं उड़ीसा से बोल रहा हूँ. तो भुवनेश्वर बोल के एक जो कैपिटल है सर, यहाँ पे किया था मैं. तो सर यहाँ पे थोड़ा मतलब मुझे प्लेसमेंट वगैरह नहीं मिला सर. तो फिर सो इसके मैं नेटवर्किंग में अभी रोल सर वगैरह सर मैं अभी सर्च कर रहा हूँ अपॉर्चुनिटी. तो सर थोड़ा अगर कुछ मिलेगा तो सर काइंडली बताएंगे सर.
हाँ हाँ, श्योर श्योर श्योर.
सर बाकी मैं और एक बोल रहा था, ये जो आप इंस्टॉल कर रहे हैं सर, मतलब इसको आपको क्या विंडोज 10 प्रो में इंस्टॉल किए हैं, या फिर सर सिस्टम का वो जो सर्वर पूरा ओएस उसका मतलब जो सर्वर डाउनलोड करना पड़ेगा सर?
आईएसओ मैंने बताया पहले, आपको एक आईएसओ डाउनलोड करना पड़ेगा, राइट? एंड
हाँ
आफ्टर
जी सर, जी
डाउनलोडिंग
सर.
दैट आईएसओ, देन ओनली यू विल बी एबल टू क्रिएट द वर्चुअल मशीन. ठीक है? तो
अच्छा सर,
आईएसओ के
नहीं सर
डाउनलोड.
आप ये जो अभी बना रहे हैं मतलब ये जो क्रिएट कर रहे हैं जो मतलब सर इंस्टॉलेशन हो रहा है, इस सर ये वर्चुअल मशीन में हो रहा है, या फिर इसको आप
वीएम में हो रहा
मतलब
है ये
रूट
सब,
से इंस्टॉल
वर्चुअल
कर रहे
मशीन में हो रहा है ये सब, वर्चुअल मशीन में हो रहा
हैं? अच्छा सर, जी जी सर. वर्चुअल मशीन का कौन सा ये वर्सन है सर आप जो इंस्टॉल कर रहे हैं?
है. 2019,
अच्छा 2019. अच्छा
विंडोज
सर.
सर्वर 2019. ठीक है? ओके,
अच्छा अच्छा.
सो
नहीं
लेट
सर
मी.
मैं वर्चुअल मशीन का वर्सन पूछा सर, वर्चुअल मशीन का.
वर्चुअल मशीन कौन सा हाइपरवाइजर यूज कर रहा हूँ ये पूछो. दैट इज वीएम हाइपर वी. ये हाइपर वी है, और जो पहले
हाँ
दिखाया था
सर.
वो वीएमवेयर था.
अच्छा सर ये हाइपर भी है. अच्छा सर,
हाँ, ये
अच्छा
हाइपर
सर.
वी है. ठीक है? ओके.
ओके ओके सर, वही मैं पूछ रहा हूँ वही सर, क्योंकि इसका थोड़ा इंटरफेस अलग दिख रहा है सर.
हाँ हाँ, डोंट वरी,
हाँ
मैं
सर सर.
इसको.
और थोड़ा ये मतलब थोड़ा होम स्क्रीन पे आप थोड़ा स्विच करेंगे सर, होम स्क्रीन पे थोड़ा सर, मतलब जो आपका जो इंस्टॉल सॉफ्टवेयर है, हाँ सर,
ये लो.
होम स्क्रीन पे. ये सर वर्चुअल मशीन, और थोड़ा सर, और थोड़ा, और भी पहले सर मिनिमाइज करेंगे सर, थोड़ा मिनिमाइज,
हम्म.
मतलब सॉफ्टवेयर को थोड़ा देखना चाहता था ये सर. अच्छा मतलब ये
सॉफ्ट.
आपने सर पूरा सर्वर को इंस्टॉल किया है सर, मतलब जो स्टैंडर्ड एवोल्यूशन जो 19 वाला है सर?
हाँ.
अच्छा अच्छा जी सर. मतलब हमको सर मतलब ये जो मेरा जो ओएस अभी 10 पड़ा है सर, तो मैं उसको सर रिमूव करके फिर मुझे इंस्टॉल करना पड़ेगा सर्वर,
नहीं,
फिर सर मैं उसको?
विंडोज 10 के ऊपर ही आपको हाइपरवाइजर इंस्टॉल करना है. या वीएमवेयर इंस्टॉल करो या हाइपर वी इंस्टॉल करो.
अच्छा सर, जी 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 जी, समझ गया सर. अच्छा, और सर उसके अंदर मतलब हमको इंस्टॉल करना पड़ेगा सर?
हाँ, उसके अंदर आपको वर्चुअल मशीन बनाना पड़ेगा. ठीक है?
हाँ हाँ जी सर, हाँ सर, हाँ सर. ठीक है
चलो.
सर.
ओके, सो लेट मी ओपन दिस कंसोल. Actually, after so long, I'm opening it, right? So I completed this batch, SCCM batch last week. So it's more than 1 week I have not turned on this server. So it might take some time. You can get the monthly reports of your devices, right? You need to check that how much space is pending in the C drive or how much space is available in the D drive, right? You can extract the report. You can get the report from SCCM. Multiple things are there. So this is just to give you a clarity actually that where you can land your career, right? After doing MCSA. Because nowadays MCSA is not enough to grab a job in the market as a system administrator. Companies are looking for the person who has the knowledge on cloud as well as on these technologies also, Office 365 also.
सर
Yes.
यस यस सर, आप थोड़ा ये जो हाइपर वी का ये जो सर सॉफ्टवेयर है सर, इसका थोड़ा लिंक आप थोड़ा ये चैट बॉक्स में थोड़ा शेयर करेंगे?
आशीष, हाइपर वी डाउनलोड नहीं होता इंटरनेट से, ये बाय डिफॉल्ट
हाँ
अवेलेबल होता है ऑपरेटिंग सिस्टम में। और थोड़ा सा वेट करो, नेक्स्ट क्लास में आई विल बी एक्सप्लेनिंग ईच एंड एवरीथिंग।
ओह अच्छा अच्छा, ये सर बाय डिफॉल्ट रहता है। अच्छा मतलब सर मेरा ये विंडोज 10 में होगा सर?
हाँ, विंडोज 10 प्रो अगर आपके पास तो उसके अंदर होगा। टर्न विंडोज फीचर
हाँ
ऑन
सर,
और
मेरा
ऑफ में
तो ये
जाओ,
प्रो है, प्रो है सर, मेरा प्रो है सर, प्रो वर्जन है।
वहां पर टर्न विंडोज फीचर ऑन और ऑफ में जाओ और वहां पे हाइपर वी को अनेबल कर लो बस।
हाँ एक सेकंड सर, थोड़ा बताएंगे सर थोड़ा? सर मतलब सेटिंग में
यूट्यूब
जाना
पे
पड़ेगा
यार
सर?
पहले इनिशियल में बताया हुआ, यूट्यूब पे वीडियो बैक करके देख लेना, उसमें बताया हुआ कैसे एनेबल करना है।
नहीं सर, थोड़ा मैं यहाँ पे ऑन ऑन स्क्रीन पे हूँ सर, अभी बैठा हूँ, थोड़ा बताएंगे मतलब जो मतलब सेटिंग में जाऊंगा सर? एक सेकंड बता
आशीष,
दीजिए,
कैन यू
प्रोसेस
वेट
मैं
फॉर
कर
सम
लूँ।
टाइम, लेट मी कंप्लीट दिस थिंग।
ओके सर, ओके सर।
ओके चलो, इन मीनवाइल ये हो रहा है, मैं बता रहा हूँ दोबारा से क्या करना है आपको। गो टू टर्न विंडोज फीचर ऑन और ऑफ, राइट, यहाँ पर गए और यहाँ पर आपको हाइपर वी का ऑप्शन मिलेगा। आपके केस में ये अनचेक्ड होगा, इसको चेक कर लो, ओके करो, सिस्टम एक बार रिबूट होगा, राइट। और उसके बाद आपको हाइपर वी आपकी मशीन पे मिल जाएगा, जैसे मेरे को पास ये है ऐसे, राइट। दिस थिंग यू हैव टू डू। ऑलराइट, इट्स टेकिंग टू लॉन्ग। Actually, in this SCCM, there are sites. You need to configure site that is called primary site, then secondary site, and then central administration site. Right? In even interviewer is going to ask you that what is primary site, because in case of as primary site, how you will be able to manage the devices, how you will be able to, how much devices you will be able to manage. So these can be the interview question which interviewer is going to ask you. And whatever the topics I will be covering, whatever the modules I am teaching here, either it would be MCSA, either it would be Azure, or it would be Intunes or SCCM, right? I have interview question for all of these technologies with answers, right? So after this, after doing all the practicals and all, you can just prepare yourself with the interview questions, and hopefully you will be able to crack the interview depending upon how you are performing in the interview. All right. See, so this is the console of SCCM, right? So under devices, you will be able to see that how many devices are there. So from where it is extracting the information, from where it is getting the information, all from primary domain controller or from the DC. So till now, you can see database, MECMPS, primary domain, and these are my client machines for which I performed some of the examples, the deployments, right? And if you want to verify whether your company is using SCCM or not, just go into your laptop, on your organization's laptop, right? Try to search for software center. So if you are able to see software center in your laptop, then the company is using SCCM. Or if you are able to see company portal you will be able to see in your mobile phones. Either it would be your Mac device or your Android device, right? So over there you will be able to see one application called company portal. So that means company is using Intunes. So this is how you can verify. All right, and let me show you the software center. It's too slow today. Software center, this thing. So under software center, whatever you are going to deploy from your SCCM console, it would be available in the software center of the client machine, like Windows 10 or Windows 11. I can show you on these machines also, but unnecessary, it will slow down the performance. So that is why I'm not turning on these machines. All right. So you can see in front of client, you can see yes, right? That means if the client is installed, then only I will be able to manage them. Or let's say if I need to take any system on remote, right? I need to take, let's for example, PDC on remote. I can take the system on remote with the help of SCCM. How? Right click on it, and then you go to start, and then here you can see remote control, right? Select remote control. And here you can go. Session will be full control mode. Connecting to the host session. And this is your server. You can log in onto it. This is just very small thing, right? We can do multiple things with it. This is my primary domain controller for SCCM, right? Okay, rest. This is your software center. Under software center, you can see I deployed these applications. If I need to install, even user can also install. You can deploy to the software center. User can select the software and user can install it. For me, it is already installed, so I can't install it now. Right, rest updates, you will be able to see all the updates, like I was talking about WSUS, right? So for whatever the operating system you want to deploy the updates, it would be available in the update itself. Operating system, if let's say this server is running with 2019, I want to upgrade it to 2022, I can send the operating system upgrade here from the SCCM console. Basically, see, this is going to be under software library, and here you can see operating systems, and here you can see operating system images. For now, I already deployed Windows 11 for my previous batch, right? Same way I can deploy for like Windows Server operating system also. And it only works with the Microsoft. You can't deploy Linux operating system from here. You can only deploy the Microsoft operating systems only. Along with it, you can manage the Office 365 client also. If you need to install Office 365 from here, you can do that. Okay, see. So here you will be able to see that on how many systems Office 365 is installed. Or if some of the systems are pending with, still pending with Office 365 installation, we can do that. All right. So this is just for your in knowledge, or even in our classes also, I will give you a short demo on SCCM as well, so that if you will find it interesting, then you can enroll yourself. All right. So this is it from me. If you want to ask anything, you have 5 minutes, you can ask. Okay, Gaurav sir, over to you. I'm done for today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm sharing my screen now. 1 minute. Hello, hi everyone.
Oh,
Hello,
Hello.
hello,
Hello,
hi
hello.
sir, hello.
hello. अतुल बात कर रहा हूँ यार.
Right, sir.
गौरव सर ने बोला कुछ ऑल एक्सेस की डिटेल देनी है. So
Yes,
shall I
sir.
share?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
सर एक चीज पूछनी थी अतुल सर
Yes, yes.
कि सर जो आप ऑल एक्सेस पास है तो उसमें ज्यादातर जो रिकॉर्डिंग है वो 2021 की है सर. अब अपडेटेड नहीं है. 2023 एटलीस्ट होनी चाहिए. वो बस एक डाउट
नहीं
था ये.
नहीं, वो कोर्स हमारा 2021 में बना था जब वो ऐड हुआ था, बट उसके अंदर जो कंटेंट है वो लेटेस्ट ही है. और अगर कोई नहीं है तो हम आप हमें अपडेट देना, वी विल अपडेट द कंटेंट आल्सो. So
सर
you are
मेरे
asking about Hindi batch or English one?
हिंदी हिंदी हिंदी.
Yeah, Hindi is in the pipeline. We are updating, but English तो हम कर चुके हैं update.
तो
So
सर
so we have the content within just 1 or 2 days. We will update that. Okay, so let me share the details and then we can have discussion. Okay, I'm audible, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So basically, like we have created some self-paced learning programs. Okay, where we have created 3 programs. One is essential. This is for beginners, like who are freshers. Okay, they can go for this, and it is a combo of like CCNA, Windows Server, some Linux courses, or Microsoft AWS, Azure, and all these. So almost 18 plus courses in the essential. Okay, so this is for the beginners, which means they want to learn a lot of domains, but they do not want to go in detail. They just want to cover the associate level courses. Okay, suppose if I'm network engineer, so I want to learn little bit of cloud, little bit of some DevOps or cyber security. So this is for those people or those who are entering into IT. Okay, this is for the freshers. So if anybody needs all our content, which is like all networking courses, like my CCNA, CCNP, firewalls, Palo Alto, Checkpoint, F5, like FortiGate firewall, Cisco SD-WAN, whether it is cloud security programs like Azure 500, Azure 700, AWS networking, AWS specialist, all these, including all the DevOps content and the cyber security content, like because the problem is a lot of people they want to just want to try other fields. Suppose if I'm network engineer, I want to try what is cyber security. Let me start learning some courses, and maybe in future I can plan, because future is right now. If you see, there are two things which are completely secure in the terms of future. That is cloud security and cyber security, and somehow DevOps also. So networking is very crucial for all the domains. So that's why we have covered all the domains: networking, cloud, cyber security, and DevOps. Okay, so this is the plan, and you can choose the language. But yes, if you need more courses, latest content, too much, so go for always English pass. Hindi is also good, but there are some courses which like my trainers are not, some trainers are not from India, so that's why we have to take in English. So if you ask me, like 5 or 7 courses more in English courses, so I recommend people to go for English content. Okay, it will help you to in the interviews also. So now
sir,
as
can we change from language Hindi to English in now also? Means
yeah, let's just discuss. We will change. Don't worry.
okay.
Okay, so this is the roadmap if anybody is interested into network security. So this is the roadmap. Okay, that you can start with CCNA, CCNP, and this all these courses. So once you enroll in this program, you can watch like CCNA, you can watch CCNP. Just click here,
and you can start learning all the content from here. Okay, and these are the best part. These are the live class recordings. Means lot of questions student are whatever students have asked. So those all questions will be covered in these. You can see some use cases because all the content taken by all industry people. Okay, from the whether they are networking. Now this is the cybersecurity roadmap. So I would recommend people to first learn Linux and then Active Directory, because most of the attacks are on the Active Directory, okay, or on the Windows Server. So that's why we prefer people to learn Linux, Active Directory, and little bit of networking like CCN, and then they can start with certified ethical hacking, pen test, which is advanced of ethical hacking, then the CYSA, which is like auditing certification for the Security Operations Center, and then in the final you can go for CSSP. Okay, so then we have cloud security. So this is also like you can refer. So what I recommend, whatever career path you choose, you have to follow this roadmap, and we have given you the target also, that within 2 months you should complete these courses. Okay, like within 2 months 104, within 2 months 500, within 2 months 700. So like suppose you enroll for this, 6 months you prepare for cloud security, and also you can prepare for maybe something like DevOps. Okay, so like one half an hour daily in the morning you can start learning DevOps, half hour maybe in your break, in your lunch, in office, because we you can access all our courses from mobile apps and all. Okay, so means you have to dedicate at least 1 hour a day. Okay, if you are not working on Monday to Friday, means you do not have time to learn on Monday and Friday. So at least learn 2 to 3 hours on Saturday Sundays. Okay, like maybe 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the evening, like that. So then you will be able to follow. I would recommend you to be everyone to go for 2 roadmaps. Okay, choose from these 4 domains. So at least start with 2 domains. Suppose if you are in already in networking, so do not just jump to other domain. If you have networking experience, so just keep improving your networking skills. But if you want to try something new, so you can always try like cloud security. Okay, and if you have a goal that I want to get into cyber security, you can go for cyber security. Means at a time you can go for 2 roadmaps, because that will help you to build your resume in 2 formats. I can show that I have networking knowledge, my past experience is also networking, and you can show that yes, I have cloud security or cyber security knowledge also. So this is how you can utilize all the content, not all the content, at least 2 career paths within a year you will be able to complete. And whenever you learn any technology, suppose you learn about Azure 500, so whenever you learn any topics, so जब भी आप कुछ नया सीखते हो, whatever you learn, suppose you learn about VNet, okay, VNet peering or whatever, right? So once you learn those topics, you can always add them in your resume and keep updating your resume every week after whenever you learn. This is my habit. I used to do this thing. So because you do not have motivation to learn until unless you do not add that thing in your resume. So in my previous days, when I want to add something in my resume, so first I add in my resume, I apply jobs, and then I know that maybe I get a call and people will ask me these topics. So I have some sense of emergency in my mind that I have already submitted a resume where I have already added the skills. So it is giving me some push. Okay, so I have to complete this course because I have already mentioned in my resume. So this is just a trick I'm telling you, that whatever you want to learn, so you can always mention I know a 104, 500, 700, and whatever important topics, you can always ask Chat GPT and all. So just add the important topics in your resume, and then keep pushing yourself. Within 2 months you have a deadline that within 2 months I have to complete this 104, because a lot of people enroll and then they do not learn the courses. Why? Because they do not have that sense of emergency, they do not have that curiosity to learn, because we always procrastinate, right? We always feel lazy कि कल करेंगे, अभी तो 1 साल का एक्सेस है, 2 साल का है, right? So that's why, so just add in your resume, start applying jobs. And because if you update your resume, I hope everybody knows how the ATS works. What is ATS? So when you update your resume, Okay, so there is a ATS like Naukri.com, any job portal in the market today. Okay, so let me just show you. तो ATS क्या करता है? What is ATS? Yeah, so why this resume is getting selected? Tell me, guys. So why it is saying no, and one picture you can see here, everything is mentioned. So why it is showing, yeah, this can be a valid resume or this can be selected.
It's highlight the point, which skill you have, which
Hmm.
experience you have. Everything is highlighted in one page.
Yeah,
The
so
way
basically, so it is a fully structured you can see the experience is mentioned, skills are mentioned properly. So this is like ATS friendly resume. Okay, so ATS friendly resume means the resume is going to check there are a lot of tools. Okay, now you guys can try ATS resume checker like this. Okay, and upload your resume on those website, and then they will give you score. Okay, that your resume is only 20%. So some website will ask you some pricing, but some will give you trial. At least one time you can check, scan your resumes and check your match rate. Okay, so then you will come to know, okay, this is the thing. And you can see there are a lot of website which will help you that but this is only one step. So the second step, so whenever you wish to apply to cloud security job, suppose, because that is in the trend today, so cloud security engineer, something like that. Okay, so we are always working on those technology what are in demand. Okay, so you can see in cloud security around 90,000 jobs it is showing according. So suppose you have 3-year experience, just to choose here 3 years. Okay, and now you can see around 50,996. So this is TCS, which is hiring cloud security engineer. And if I see here what skills they are asking, even you can see walk-in drives are going on. This is the like people are just still preparing for some technologies. Definitely Windows Server, Azure, cloud security, everything is important. And cloud security, network security is somehow part of cyber security only. So the complete IT security is a very big field. Okay, so now if you see what skills they are asking, you need to have these skills in your resume. Like if you add AWS cloud, Azure cloud, GCP. So in when you create Naukri, also in the Naukri profile also you have to add these skills. And when you apply for these jobs, then only you will be getting calls, because a lot of people complain, sir, I don't get calls, because you are not updating your resume plus your Naukri profile with the relevant skills. Because if you have added very old skills, maybe you have done because I've seen even 10-year experience guys, they have added PowerPoint, Excel in their skills. So that is not logical, right? So yes, that can be extra skills which you can highlight with if you are a fresher, or maybe if you are applying for quality analyst or data analyst jobs. But if you are applying for engineer profiles, no need to mention PowerPoint, Excel, all these things. So instead, highlight your most important skills. Okay, so you can see senior info cloud security engineer, Mumbai. Okay, even the top companies are also hiring. Okay, so like you can see there is a call is and all, any job you pick. So you can see they are asking about all these things, Azure, AWS, GCP. Okay, so you can join the cloud security batches. We have a live cloud security batch also. But if you want to try cyber security also, you want to try now you can see there is a Kubernetes or maybe Docker knowledge also is required, CA/CD. So now understand the job. It is asking you to have knowledge of cloud, plus it is asking you to have the Kubernetes, CI/CD pipelines, API, even the cyber security. So what do you think here? So now cyber security, which is ethical hacking, AWS, all these things, even the Docker, Kubernetes. So do you think that cyber security, cloud security, and somehow the cloud, even the DevOps are combined today? What do you think? Yes or no?
Yes, sir, they're combined.
They are combined somehow, right? At the back end.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's why we have made this plan. If you
Sir, the
see,
company would expect one person to all the knowledge that is like something have fruit, all the fruits on one tree. Yeah?
Yeah, Lalit, they are hiring supermans. They have stopped hiring people. सही बता रहा हूँ मैं. Okay, they become the Thanos. That either they will kill all the. That's why a lot of firing going on, because they want highly potential people to learn all the things, and it can possible because you do not have to be expert in one domain. It is like you have to be jack of all, but somehow down the line with your experience you will become master of one also. There is a saying, na, jack of all, master of none. तो अभी क्या चल रहा है? Jack of all, master of one. So you need to be good at one particular thing and jack of all. That's why, and already we have seen this trend in the market, and that's why you can see this is the job, and whatever they are hiring, we have all that skills in that all access pass. So if you wish to apply for these are very high paying jobs. It is not that they are the normal jobs, or maybe they are giving 5 lakhs. If they are asking like multiple technologies, they are paying you very much also, like 30 lakhs, 25 lakhs, or 40 lakhs, even with 1 year packages also in India itself. But yes, with some good experience, slowly, you will be going to get that. But if you are already on 8 lakhs, 10 lakhs, you can target 25 to 30 lakhs by going to these domain, and you have to follow these roadmaps. Okay. And by following these roadmaps one by one, whatever courses companies are asking in the like what I have shown you today. Okay, so you can apply for these kind of jobs. Even they are not hiring BTech, even with normal BS degree is okay. Like Bachelor of Science or maybe BCA is okay. Okay, direct email IDs are written over here. Okay, so this is just one of the thing. You can see there are almost 50,000 jobs written over here. I would say maybe at least if it is showing 50,000, maybe some 5,000 jobs are relevant to you or your profile. So you can always apply 5 to 10 jobs every day, or maybe at least twice a week. Make a ritual. Okay, जैसे हम सुबह उठ के ब्रश करते हैं ना. Okay, make sure you create a ritual that like I brush my teeth, I I am going to apply jobs every week 2 times. This you can put a reminder somewhere. Okay, or write somewhere on your mirror where you see yourself daily. Okay, so that you just train your subconscious mind that I have to apply. But when you apply job, you will automatically feel like, yes, I have to update my knowledge, because knowledge content is everywhere, right? Even YouTube is there, Udemy, there are a lot of platforms, but in a proper structured way, everything in detail where the industry people are teaching you. So that knowledge, you will not waste time, because there is an important thing. Learning is more important, but unlearning bad things is way more important. Because if you just randomly pick a YouTube guy and start preparing, and maybe he's not a good engineer in the market,
Yes,
and
it's
so
happened with me.
yeah,
If I
unlearning
pick,
bad things is way important than learning new things. तो
yes,
गलत चीज सीखना और उसको भूलना बहुत टफ है.
सर ये हो चुका है मेरे साथ.
हम्म. तो अभी ये देख लो आपके सामने क्लाउड सिक्योरिटी, एंड इफ यू चेक हियर, even with the you can pick the salaries also, that I am looking for salary between this much. Okay, suppose you have a target, I am on target of 10 lakhs. So you can pick your this here also, because sometime what happen, like a guy with 3 lakhs salary, they are applying for 50 lakh salaries packages jobs. Obviously you do not have that experience, you do not have, nobody is going to give you 50 lakhs. So suppose you have 10 lakhs and you feel like you are in Gurgaon, but you are open to relocate to Bangalore, then you can apply for 25 to 50 slot also. But if you are in Gurgaon, but you want to stay in Gurgaon, then you have to pick this slot 15 to 25. So this is how you filter your job profiles. Okay. So now when I filter between 15 to 25, it is now giving me 2,300 jobs. And when I apply, because in Naukri, you cannot also apply to 500 companies, because when you apply to jobs, even company give you some score. Suppose uh, Lalit has applied for network engineer, but he is a server engineer. So just as a recruiter, I will feel like this is not a relevant profile. So I will say not interested, because I am employer, right? I am hiring. तो मैं क्या करूंगा, इसकी प्रोफाइल को कहूंगा नॉट इंटरेस्टेड, और मे बी दिस पर्सन इज इरेलीवेंट. सो द मोर कंपनीज पुट यू ऑन इरेलीवेंट, the Naukri is not going to show your profile to the recruiters. Are you getting
Can
mine?
we
This
see
is
that?
the ATS algorithm.
Can we see that
ATS.
score?
Hmm?
Can we see that score? What you are talking about?
Can we see? I have already shared my screen.
No, screen note score, which you are talking about now. Okay, if the employer reject my resume, so the score is giving. So how we can see?
Yeah. That I have, bro. I have already updated. I don't know how much you follow networkings, but if you go and check my networkings channel, okay. So where we have already created all these things. Go and see Naukri. Just search Naukri here or job something. So you can see I've already trained a lot of sessions on this,
Okay,
like
okay,
create a resume in 10 minutes with AI and how to keep updating, how I got more than 2 lakh salary. Okay, all these videos we have created from last many years. So what
okay.
is career guidance for coding, cybersecurity, networking? So these sessions always help people. You just search guidance here. So this is like people who are freshers, they want to learn like what should I do. Okay, all these things they can go and choose their roadmaps also. Okay, but
Sir,
yes.
I have a 2 year of experience in service desk, but
Hmm.
I have switched in that MCSA. The Sahitya sir told that you should know AZ104, SSCM, and that
Hmm. Yeah,
MCSA.
definitely. See,
So
uh,
how can arrange in my resume so that I will show to the employer that I am capable of that.
see, you have to learn first. So when you start learning, so just
I
ask your trainer. Suppose Sahitya is your trainer. So Sahitya ko like just ask Sahitya, okay, just tell me what are the most demanded, because he is the expert in this domain, right? So he knows what skills they are hiring. Maybe he is also taking a lot of interviews, right? So he will give you like 10 to 15 skills you can add in a resume. And now when you enroll in networkings, we give you pre-recorded videos and all also. So you
Yes.
can start learning pre-recorded and ask doubts from trainer. Okay, this is the real meaning of live classes. If you just attend live classes but like YouTube, then it is not going to give you benefit. Okay, we are arranging engineers from the market so that they people can ask lot of industry questions. आप पूछो साहित्य से बैठा है साहित्य,
Exactly.
right? So
I have
so
all
if I'm a server engineer, if I'm working on Windows Server, I will directly ask him, sir, tell me, okay, I want to create a VPN tunnel between Windows Server to a Microsoft Azure. How we can achieve this? Okay, or maybe I want to connect my Office Windows Active Directory to the Office 365 as a backup directory. Okay, because if my Office server fails, I want all my company to take the backup, or maybe take do the authentication from the cloud. So those things, when you ask these people, then you will be actually going to get the benefit of your live training. Because if you just do not ask real time questions, they will go and they will just cover the topic and they go, right? Because the more you ask, the more you will see our knowledge. Got the point?
Yes, sir.
तो इनको इन पैसे दिए ना, इनको इनको क्या बोलो, इनको जितने क्वेश्चन है तुम्हारे रियल वर्ल्ड के, बट स्टिक टू द रेलिवेंट टॉपिक्स. बट सपोज इफ Sahitya is teaching DNS, so ask a DNS question. Don't just randomly pick some SCCM question or maybe any antivirus question in the DNS topic. So just stick to the what we call relevant question, but ask all related industry questions. Whatever curiosity, till the time you do not have curiosity how this world is connected. Like when people join my CCNA batches, they ask me, sir, how like I'm talking to USA guy. So I then explain them what is this submarine cables or how the satellite communication is going on. So
OS
when you have that curiosity, then only you will learn more. तो अंदर
yes,
से जब चीजें निकल के आएंगी ना कि ये व्हाट इज दिस SCCM, हाउ कंपनीज इंस्टॉल like in 500 laptops antivirus together. Ask these questions to Sahitya. How Windows update, like how we update Windows in 100 systems together. How we install Office 360 or like Microsoft Office in 200 computers together. How we disable USB ports of all my employees. Are you getting my point? That is the real meaning of live training at networkings. When you ask relevant and industry related questions, content तो हर जगह पे है ना. Content तो YouTube में भी लोग देख देख के इंटरव्यू थोड़ी क्लियर हो रहे होंगे उनके.
Yes, sir.
Right.
So
So do not just attend training for content. Content is everywhere for free. So attend live trainings for your doubts. Attend live trainings for relevant industry questions. And if you want to explore about the latest things in the market, what is I told you, go for all access pass. Okay, so Gaurav sir, so you want me to share WhatsApp number? What exactly? Okay, so you can see in the chat, guys, there is a WhatsApp number we have shared. So if anybody is interested in all access pass, they can WhatsApp on Gaurav number. So we'll give you whatever best possible discount available on this, because a lot of people they attend our live batches, but they always keep all access pass in their library, because maybe you are attending the MCSA batch or Azure, but you have option to maybe attend my CCNA, maybe you can go and learn AWS. So keep learning. That is the best way to crack, because live trainings, the only drawback of live trainings is it is little slow. Suppose you are attending MCSA, then Azure, then maybe AWS. So it is going to take 2 months, 3 months, 2 months, 3 months. So within 1 year, you can maximum attend 3 to 4 live batches. Okay. If you are an average learner, if you are a serious learner, you maybe learn up to 5 to 6 courses. Okay. So if anybody is interested in attending a lot of live batches, that plan also we have, as I mentioned, that is live access pass. And that is only for the very, very serious people in the market who is really, really passionate about that. Yes, I want to learn a lot of things and I'm willing to come on the weekdays also, weekend also. And all our classes are after 7 p.m., 8 p.m. in the Monday to Friday. And Saturday, Sunday, we can ask you to come. And this is live access pass where you can attend unlimited batches in networkings, unlimited lab access. Everything is under the live access pass. It is the because a lot of people demand for live batches only. And in any case, suppose you attend a batch, and if you do not understand that batch, you can shift your technology. Suppose you are learning CCNA, but you are okay with CCNA knowledge, you want to get into cybersecurity, you can anytime call us. Within 1 day, we will change your batches. And at a time, you can attend 2 batches. Okay, maybe Saturday, Sunday, one live batch, Monday to Friday live batch. So once you complete that batch, we'll add you in the third batch, fourth batch. So if you ask me to show, that roadmap is also available. Yeah, this is the roadmap for network and cloud cybersecurity engineers. So we recommend people to first 2 months, we will teach you CCNA and AWS. And after 6 months, we will teach you CCNP, Palo Alto F5. And after 3 months, we will teach you SD-WAN and Python. And then in the last month, we will prepare you for interview and all those things to get a high paying job for network security. And when you get into second year with us or third year, we will, whatever you have done in the first year, we will revise your CCNP, will revise your SD-WAN, and the same roadmaps will be creating for cloud security, DevOps, or whatever career options we have. So we'll be building these roadmaps. They can attend for like a 3-year degree program with us. And we are trying to connect with some colleges where maybe you can get some master degree in including the prizes. Okay, so that we are working on, so that if you are attending that whole technical courses with us, in return, maybe you will get some master degree that maybe help you to go to Canada or any country, because they give you some extra points for master degree and all. Okay, so that is in the pipeline. Okay, but yes, the technology is something you always have to. So if you are on budget today, so you can always go for all access pass, which will come around 3 to 4 thousand monthly. Okay, you can go for EMI. Okay, and if you are okay with the content, you love to attend our live classes with the lab access, you will also get all access pass, this 55 courses in this. And this is around 12,000 monthly EMI, including taxes, GST, everything. So you can just if you need more information, you can just WhatsApp Gaurav. Yes, I'm okay to proceed with the live access pass or all access pass. But yes, somehow down the line you have to rush. Okay, you cannot be slow in 2024 that okay, let me do the just MCSA, after 6 months I will do Azure. Okay, the people are rushing on in the technologies. Like under remember your old school days. You have done 10th, you have done plus two, you have done a lot of courses. But if you have not scored like 90% or maybe 95% in your 10th exam, right? So you will not go, okay, I scored 70%, let me go to 10th class again and let me get 95. No, you will go to the 11th standard, right? So this is how the technology also work, because everybody is trying to be perfect and there is no perfection in IT. Every time you learn things, you can always update your knowledge, but you cannot be perfect in any IT domain, because IT is very vast, right? You cannot be expert in networking, you cannot be expert even in DevOps, cloud security. It will take time. Okay, it will take time, 3 years, 5 years, when you keep learning. But companies are not looking for experts today, they're looking for jack of all. That's the whole idea to build these programs, so that you do not just go slowly with one particular expert domain. That is, every domain, every domain is like somehow connected with other domain. Like if you talk about networking, cloud, DevOps, cybersecurity, these all four domains are interlinked with each other. That's why we have built this program, so that people can apply for the latest technologies. Okay, so thank you all. अब मैं थक गया.
Sir, only one more thing. Sir, I need an interview preparation guidance. I have completed all access pass of MCSA by Saitya, sir. I need interview preparation guidance. Whom
So
I call?
Lalit, yeah. So see, when you attend the live batches, you can always ask related questions to the trainer. And in the all access pass, like if you moving from Hindi to English, in English, I think we have added the TAC engineer interview preparation, network engineer interview preparation. And I ask Sahitya and all other trainers also to build the 5 to 10 hours of interview preparation courses also, so that people do not have to wait for the interview preparation. So every student will get on the first day about the interview preparation thing. Saitya, 10 hours
Yeah,
content I need from you for interview preparation only.
sure, sure, sure. And Lalit, just I'm adding one more thing here. So first of all, if you have joined my classes, right? So over there, whatever the topics I used to cover, right? I used to um, help you out with the questions which can be in the
We are
interview,
on
right?
YouTube.
Listen, sir, please, you are incorrect somewhere. I have already completed all access pass MCSA.
Hmm.
Now I need an interview preparation guidance for job because I have very much less time for means I am out for 6 months from job and I have no money or no something. What I say.
Okay, okay, no worries. So we'll plan accordingly and we'll inform you.
ओके सो सेशन शुरू हुआ था, खत्म हुआ था? अच्छा, ठीक है. ओके गाइस, बाय बाय, थैंक यू. एंड वी हैव ऑलरेडी शेयर्ड व्हाट्सएप डिटेल्स इफ एनीबॉडी इज इंटरेस्टेड. So I'm happy to come on a Zoom call if anybody need a personal guidance also for live access pass. And if you need all access pass, directly just WhatsApp us for all access pass. We will share details and you can enroll. Okay. So thank you all. Bye bye. Good night. ओ गुड नाइट मैं इसलिए बोल रहा हूँ, मेरे सेशन रात को होते हैं ना ज्यादा.
सर इसका कोर्स फीस कितना है सर?
या आशीष व्हाट?
हेलो.
हाँ जी, हाँ जी.
ये सर इसका कोर्स फीस कितना है सर इसका?
आप व्हाट्सएप कर दो, आपको सारी डिटेल्स हम शेयर कर देते हैं.
अभी जो आपने
एक्चुअली
हाँ हाँ.
यूट्यूब पे हम जो आज प्राइस बोलते हैं ना, क्या होता है कई
अच्छा,
बार.
नहीं सर, आपका
अभी
ये जो
जैसे
कोर्स था, मुझे आज
अभी,
का जो सेशन था सर,
हाँ,
मतलब जो सर्वर का था ये जो.
हाँ, वो डिटेल पता क्या होता है, वो हम अभी पब्लिकली प्राइजेस पता क्यों नहीं बोलते हैं, क्योंकि कई बार प्राइजेस, कई बार ऑफर आते हैं, कभी डिस्काउंट मिल जाते हैं. सो देयर आर ऑलवेज सम, सपोज इफ यू अटेंड ऑन लाइक अभी कुछ ऑफर चल रहे हैं, ठीक है, तो अभी हम वो डिस्क्लोज नहीं कर सकते. व्हाट्सएप अस, गो टू आवर वेबसाइट, देयर यू कैन सी डायरेक्टली. Okay, because today what I talk, that is recorded in YouTube. Maybe after 6 months, if anybody watches this video, they see some different prices, so I do not want to get them disconnected and all. So that's why. So just WhatsApp us, we will give you the best offer possible. My team will get back to you. Okay, and if anybody is interested in live access pass, where you can attend all the, but that is only for serious learners who aim for at least 25 to 30 lakh CTC within next 2-3 years. Okay, so then those people can attend our live access pass batch also. Okay, so that we can assure you within 3 years you can go up to 30 lakhs if you are already on 5 to 7 lakhs today. तो अगर आप 5 से 7 लाख के पैकेज पे हो अभी और 10 तक भी हो, and if you have a goal to go to 30 lakhs within 2-3 years, we will help you to go to that domain or that salary. Okay, so thank you, bye bye.